Every 4 years, something extraordinary happens. For 1 month, the world seems to move to the rhythm of a single game. Streets fall silent before kickoff. Restaurants fill with fans wearing different colors but sharing the same anticipation. In cities thousands of kilometers apart, millions of people celebrate the same goal at exactly the same moment. Football doesn't just unite countries, it unites time. The FIFA World Cup is more than a tournament. It's one of the few events capable of capturing the attention of billions of people, regardless of language, culture, or politics. But while fans are focused on the drama unfolding on the pitch, another competition is taking place behind the scenes. One that has nothing to do with goals or trophies. It's a competition for broadcasting rights worth billions of dollars, for global sponsorships, for tourism, for international influence, for business. Every pass you watch, every goal you celebrate, every unforgettable moment creates value far beyond the stadium. So here's the question. When the final whistle blows, who really wins the FIFA World Cup? Is it the nation that lifts the trophy, the country that hosts the tournament, or the companies that quietly profit from every match without ever touching the ball? Because behind football's greatest celebration lies one of the most fascinating business stories ever told. And once you see it, you'll never watch the World Cup the same way. Every global phenomenon has a beginning. For the FIFA World Cup, that beginning wasn't worth billions of dollars. It wasn't surrounded by giant stadiums, worldwide television audiences, or multinational sponsors. It began with a simple idea. What if the world's best football teams could compete on one stage, and one nation could truly call itself the champion of the world? At the start of the 20th century, football was spreading faster than anyone had imagined. Across Europe and South America, the sport was becoming part of everyday life. Local rivalries were growing, international matches were attracting larger crowds, and, for the first time, football was becoming a global language. But there was still one problem. There was no world championship, no tournament that brought every nation together. In 1904, representatives from 7 European football associations met in Paris and founded FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association. Their mission was straightforward: create common rules and organize international football. At the time, few could have imagined that this small organization would one day oversee the most watched sporting event on Earth. One man believed it could become much more. His name was Jules Rimet. He imagined a tournament where countries from every continent would compete, not just for a trophy, but for national pride. It was an ambitious vision. International travel was expensive. Communication was slow. Many football associations were skeptical that such a competition could even work. But Rimet kept pushing. Then, in 1930, the impossible became reality. Uruguay hosted the very first FIFA World Cup. Only 13 teams took part. There were no billion-dollar broadcasting deals, no global advertising campaigns, no streaming platforms. Just players, supporters, and a dream that football could bring the world together. When Uruguay lifted the trophy, history celebrated a champion. But history was also witnessing the birth of something much bigger. A tournament that would eventually become one of the world's most valuable sporting properties. The journey wasn't always smooth. The Second World War forced FIFA to cancel the tournaments planned for 1942 and 1946. For 16 years, the World Cup disappeared from the international stage. But the dream survived. When the tournament finally returned in 1950, football entered a new era. More countries joined, more fans watched. And then, a technological revolution changed everything. Television. Suddenly, the World Cup was no longer limited to the people inside the stadium. It could enter millions of homes around the world. And wherever millions of people gather, business eventually follows. For the first few decades, the FIFA World Cup was exactly what it was created to be: a football tournament. Winning the trophy was the ultimate goal. Money was never the headline. But as television spread across the world in the 1960s and 1970s, something unexpected happened. The World Cup was no longer being watched by thousands inside a stadium. It was now being watched by millions from their living rooms. And wherever millions of people pay attention, business sees opportunity. Think about it for a moment. If you owned a global brand and billions of people were all looking at the same screen, wouldn't you want your logo to be there? That simple idea transformed football forever. Companies stopped seeing the World Cup as just another sporting event. They began seeing it as one of the most powerful advertising platforms on Earth. Soon, some of the world's biggest companies wanted to be associated with football's biggest stage. Sportswear brands supplied the official match ball and team kits. Soft drink companies launched global marketing campaigns. Payment networks, airlines, automobile manufacturers, and technology companies competed for the chance to become official FIFA partners. Then came the biggest transformation of all: broadcasting rights. Today, broadcasters around the world compete fiercely for the right to show World Cup matches. Why? Because live sport is one of the few types of television that millions of people still choose to watch in real time. Viewers don't want to know the result later. They want to experience it live. Broadcasting rights eventually became FIFA's largest source of revenue, surpassing ticket sales by a wide margin. And suddenly, the World Cup wasn't just growing as a sporting event, it was growing into an economic engine. When the referee blows the final whistle, history remembers the champions. The captain lifting the trophy, the celebrations, the tears of joy, the moments that become part of football history. But when the stadium slowly empties, another story begins, one that rarely appears in the highlights. The broadcaster begins counting record viewership. Sponsors measure the reach of campaigns that have traveled across the globe. Hotels review weeks of full occupancy. Airlines record millions of passenger journeys. Restaurants, retailers, and local businesses calculate one of their busiest trading periods. For them, the World Cup doesn't end with the final whistle. That's when the numbers begin. FIFA closes another tournament and continues investing in competitions and football development around the world. Host cities begin evaluating what the event has left behind. Some gain modern infrastructure, stronger tourism, and renewed international visibility. Others continue debating whether the financial return matched the scale of the investment. There isn't one answer that fits every country. Every World Cup leaves a different legacy. Perhaps that's what makes the FIFA World Cup so extraordinary. It's one tournament, but millions of different stories. For a young footballer, it's the dream of wearing a national jersey. For a supporter, it's 90 unforgettable minutes. For a business, it's an opportunity. For a nation, it's a chance to present itself to the world. Everyone watches the same tournament, but everyone sees something different. So, who really makes the most money? Is it FIFA, the broadcasters, the sponsors, the airlines, the hotels, the host nation? The truth is, they all benefit in different ways, because the FIFA World Cup isn't powered by a single winner. It's powered by an entire global ecosystem. An ecosystem built around one simple game that millions play. In 1930, the World Cup began with just 13 teams and a bold idea. Today, it brings together 48 nations, billions of viewers, and one of the largest sporting economies ever created. What started as a football tournament has become a global business phenomenon. Yet, despite the money, the sponsorships, the broadcasting deals, and the billion-dollar industry surrounding it, The heart of the World Cup has never changed. It's still about the game. The next time you watch a World Cup match, look beyond the goals. Look beyond the trophy. Look beyond the celebrations. Because behind every pass, every save, and every unforgettable moment lies a remarkable story of ambition, innovation, business, and the universal power of football. This wasn't just the story of the FIFA World Cup. It was the story of how one game grew into one of the greatest businesses on Earth. Thanks for watching Wealth Chronology. See you in the next video.